For latest updates and short audio clips, follow us on Instagram, Reading the Author.
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast Reading the Author, a unique show where we read authors' mind and not their book. Meanwhile, I truly believe and pray that you and your families are completely safe and healthy as well. Today we have Sarbajit Chowdhury sir with us, the author of Speaking from the Autumn of My Life and the Sluggish Fire. Thank you so much sir for coming on our show. We are highly grateful कि आप हमारे शो पर आए.
Thank you so much for such a great welcome.
Pleasure, sir. So, sir, before we get into the podcast and know much more about your book, I would request you to please introduce yourself so that our listeners can know much more about you. And please let us know how you started writing and all those things.
Yeah, of course. I am Mr. Sarbajit Chowdhury. I am an author and an guest lecturer. I am right now teaching in St. Xavier's College, Bardhaman, and I'm also in some other colleges, Prince and Cyber. And besides, I pursue the career of being an author. I have written 2 books in the past 3 years. Both are a collection of poems. First is the Speaking from the Autumn of My Life. The second one is the Sluggish Fire. The first book is completely about it's just a collection to show the diversification that I possess, or like the diverse topics I can touch upon. But this book, the second one, is much closer to my heart, because due to my life experiences, I have been through a prolonged period of depression, a prolonged period of sadness, and not a good time, you can say it. Like, there was the worst time in my life very soon, very early. So for that reason, this book consists of the poems that is written during that period of time. I have tried in one of my poems to challenge the gender roles that the society offers. So in this way, this is a story of my via poems, a story of my struggle from being nothing to being something.
So can you share with us, like, when was that first thought stuck in your mind कि नहीं, अब big book तो लिख ही देनी है मुझे, first thought?
पहले किताब में ना ऐसा कॉन्शियस एफर्ट कभी था नहीं कि ऑथर बनना है. हाँ, कभी कोई किताब होगा, आई विल राइट इट माई सेल्फ, वो एक था दिमाग में, बट टू बी टेकिंग दिस एज अ सीरियस प्रोफेशन वाज नेवर इन माय माइंड. So I started taking this more seriously after my first book. जब response अच्छा ना लगा, so I decided now I have to take this a bit seriously. And the second book is of course a conscious effort. I started writing this poem when it would be in the lockdown period. All these poems are the composition during the lockdown period that began in the March 2020. Yeah, at that point all these things started. This book got initiated at that moment. I think it started at March, and I was already at a very bad phase by April, and then it started.
Okay. So, sir, as you know that the book is released and is performing really well on Amazon, I just saw. But, sir, after listening to this podcast, many readers, many listeners will start searching for the book. So, from a reader's perspective, if you can share some insight, like what a reader can expect from this book, then that would be really great.
You can expect some insight to my life, to my struggle with death, with suicidal attempts, with depression, with all the norms that society puts on us, irrespective of whatever we do. So you can expect that. You can expect to take away the spirit of a fighter, because these books give you a hope, not to lose the hope at the last. I hope you get that hope in this book. My main motive of writing this book is to give people like me who are suffering a lot, to give them a hope that you're a fighter. Please don't lose the fight. Hold on to it. You will make somewhere.
It seems to be really interesting, sir. But can we know the reason behind these topics? Like, what motivates you? What inspires you to write on these topics? And people who write poem are really, what I personally feel that they are blessed, because what we can say, बहुत सारी इमोशंस को एक स्मॉल वर्ड्स में कन्वर्ट करना, दैट्स रियली समथिंग कमेंडेबल. सो कैन यू शेयर विद अस व्हाट्स योर इंस्पिरेशन बिहाइंड दिस?
It's sheer pain. It's a sheer pain, frustration that I experienced Actually, this is a series of events if I have to start with. During my childhood, I have experienced something which I would say, please, no child should go through that. Intense ragging, intense bullying, instant loss of self-esteem. All this has somewhere left me with no voice. I have nothing to say. I was speechless for a few years. Like I was just go to the school, do everything mechanically, come back. I had nothing to do. तो कहीं ना कहीं लॉकडाउन में वो चीजें बाहर आने लगी. नहीं, मुझे कहना है. I have to say about this. That frustration, that pain, that anger had to go away. If you go through the title of the book, that is a sluggish fire. That sluggish fire is that fire of somewhere to prove yourself, which is sluggish but is never extinguished. So main motive behind the book is.
And what's upcoming is if we can expect some more books from it, then what it would be like? Would you want to experiment in some other genres, or what's in the pipeline?
I am completely shifting it now. I have written short stories by this time, 2 or 3.
Okay.
I am now planning to launch a novel very soon, maybe this year, 2022. This year, possibly it's already December, so maybe next year, 2022, I am planning to launch a novel. But that will take time. Because I have other academic commitments to fulfill. I don't know, because I try to go with the flow of life. I don't decide much. So let's see where we go, where we'll end up.
Okay. So my next question to this podcast is most of the authors are working to create a sort of impact on their readers' mind. Like they want to be known, they want to be remembered as a certain genre writer. So what sort of impact do you want to create on readers' mind? Like let's say from a couple of years, if anybody sees okay, it's a book by Sarbajit sir, then what sort of impact you want to have on their mind? कि अच्छा इनकी बुक है तो ऐसी होगी. Any sort of personal branding or some strategy behind?
This is why absolutely I don't want to be very true. I want my readers to get surprised every time I write. इनसे तो ये expect नहीं किया था. अगर इन्होंने last time love story लिखा था, तो इस time if I am again writing a book, वो love story नहीं होगा. या फिर वो love story होगा भी तो ऐसा ट्विस्ट के साथ होगा जो मैंने पहले कभी नहीं लिखा हो. Because I love experimenting and I don't want to somehow specify myself to a particular genre. That's what actually I don't want to do. But पता नहीं how readers will take it. If I have to see, I cannot tell these things very definitely. But one thing I have in my mind, that I will never be typecast into a single genre. That's what I don't want it to.
So you don't want exactly to be, just barred in a certain kind of image in the readers.
Yeah, exactly. मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि ऐसे love story लिखता है, हर बार love story लिखता है. I would try to do something horror, something else.
And in fact, what I personally feel, sir, that if you have a certain sort of image, then at some point, if you don't want to, then also you have to just go for that. Because you have so much of branding, so much of images is going on. So yeah,
that's what I'm also thinking about, because if ultimately it's a reader's call what they want to read. But I'm not that kind of a reader. I'm writer, I'm not kind of a reader also, writer also. Because I don't write to please people, that's very sure. Because I only want to write for I won't say write for myself, but I just want to write. If people are gonna love it, love it. Because I can't do something that pleases people, but I'm not okay with it. Okay writing with it.
That won't be real.
That I don't want. Because whatever feedbacks or reviews I get, it's all about that my work is relatable to the people. I want that relativity to stay forever. If I want something in my writing to stay, I want that relatability that people find with my work. I want that to stay forever. That's one thing I want to do.
And sir, do you feel competitive in this industry, like a sort of neck-to-neck competition? Because after the first lockdown was over, numbers of authors are getting increased day by day. Like we can see that hundreds of books are being published every week, we can see. So what's your take on this? Or you are someone who feels in creativity there's no competition, every book will find some sort of reader for sure? What's your take?
Very true. to be very true, I have left that rat race in academia and here long behind. For me, it's up to me when I want to publish a book. I want to see that whether it's capable of turning tables round. It goes absolutely that. Okay, it's not about that हाँ उसने लिखा तो मुझे भी लिखना है. I don't want to be in that rat race because this is something what I love, to be very true. I don't want that to be spoiled with competition.
This also to be bounded with numbers.
Yeah. Sorry. I sometimes feel, I won't say that I don't feel absolutely, I don't feel competitive. I feel sometimes because we are human. We are supposed to feel like that, but I don't get that feeling get over me very, very much. Because that's what I don't like, and I want to be in a good. I want to be in this profession. As long as I live, I want to create something new. I produce something that I love. So no room for competition.
Okay. And do you have any?
Because ultimately, it's my life. It's my life. I will lead my way. That's the funda.
Definitely, sir. So as of now, sir, do you have any particular writing schedule? Like every day you devote some hours to your writing, or it's like random? जैसा basically मेरे साथ
जैसा मेरा था कि जब मैंने अभी तो मेरा नॉवेल एंड की तरफ है, जब वो पहली तरफ था तब मैंने ऐसा किया था. आई हैव डन दिस. I used to read तब लॉकडाउन भी था, क्लासेस भी बंद थी, कुछ हो नहीं रहा, तो every morning I would get up, I would freshen up, then I would have my breakfast and I would sit for writing. फिर शाम को I would take a cup of tea and then again I would sit for writing. That's how I used to do it. But right now I have other commitments too, so it's basically the night time that I sit and write. And yeah, that's how I'm doing, but not I would say there's not definite time. When I feel like writing, I write it. Because I believe that it comes from my inside. It has to come from that way. मतलब अंदर से आना पड़ेगा, वरना नहीं होगा.
It's something,
when my creative flow at its best, I write it.
Okay. So sir, we have talked about your journey. We have talked about your books, about your vision and everything. Now coming to your personal life, can you share with us like what was the most happiest moment of your life? Like there must be many, but if you can share any single with us, then that would be really great.
Happiest moment in my life was Mumbai International Film Festival, the Yathakatha. I was not expecting a single people to recognize me there, because Mumbai is somewhere I don't know people. I've never been there. But sitting in front of people, sitting in front of readers, recognizing me, and as soon as I get down from the stage, people coming and telling me, "Sir, ek selfie, sir, ek selfie, sir, ek selfie," is something I was very happy about. People wanted to come. There were people who came to me and said, "Sir, आपकी जैसा, I feel relatable to you. I feel that कि आपका जो struggle था, हमारा भी वही है. Creative block भी आता है." There we talked about creative block and everything. There was a lot of discussion. They felt that वैसा होता है. That was the happiest part. My happiest part was that day in Yathakatha. The response I got, the readers that came to meet me. Oh my God, that was something I still feel. जब भी ऐसा होता है ना, मेरे रोंगटे खड़े हो जाते हैं, because that's something I never expected. That was the first time I got that kind of response. That's the happiest part of my life. And one more I can add on, that was when I launched my book this 19th of December. My parents stood there. They were when they were asked by media, they never said me how they feel about it, but when they were asked by media, when they said, that was a very emotional moment. I was happy and I was very emotional. I feel proud of it. That's what I have done something.
It's the most proud moment for any child.
Yeah, that's true.
Sir, do you feel stressed while releasing of a book? Like, let's say अगर कल अगर आपकी book release हो रही है, तो what goes in your mind today? Like, do you feel stressed, relaxed, excited? या आप अपने लिए some sort of benchmark set कर देते हैं कि इतने sale होना चाहिए ऐसा? Like, how does it goes?
Actually, my biggest strength or weakness, I don't know, it is that I don't expect. That is what I do all the time. हाँ, एक certain benchmark होता है कि हाँ 50 कॉपी तो एटलीस्ट सेल होनी चाहिए, उतना benchmark होता है कि हाँ if that doesn't happen तो बहुत disheartening हो जाता है. बट टचवुड दोनों किताब में ऐसा हुआ नहीं. अभी तक तो the reports I'm getting is good about the second book. But you know, what do I say? I feel excited and nervous both. दोनों रहता है थोड़ा थोड़ा. दोनों ही रहता है. But I don't expect much. That's what I do the most. I don't expect much. I'm like, इस बुक को जितना करना होगा, जितना मेरे नसीब में लिखा होगा, that will come. That's where I go.
And as of now, what's your current mental state like as a person, as an author? What are the things which you're focusing upon?
Right now, I'm focusing upon this book. There are a series of events that are going to happen after in January. I'm totally focused on those. After that, I'm going to take a break for up to June, July, when I will be not doing any kind of activities regarding this book. Maybe a few PR events I would be doing, but not much. I have an exam on July to 10. After that, maybe I will come back again.
Okay. And my last question to this podcast would be, what are your advices for the upcoming authors? Like, many people will be listening to this podcast and, they will be holding their first draft in their laptop, in their diary. Many will about to start writing. And then what will be a couple of advices if you like to give them, what it would be?
I always say believe in yourself and have patience. Because हमारा ये प्रोफेशन है जहाँ पे इस प्रोफेशन में आओगे तो हर कोई बोलेगा मत जाओ. खुद में वो बिलीव होना चाहिए कि I will be able to stand it. That's what you need to have. खुद पे भरोसा, and the next is that patience. I learned this the hard way. I am telling you guys because I want to, मतलब जो भी आ रहे हैं उनको थोड़ा बताना चाहता हूँ कि यार कुछ जल्दी नहीं होने वाला. ओवरनाइट कोई बेस्ट सेलर नहीं बनता है. ओवरनाइट कुछ नहीं होता है. Be patient, write books, write poems, try every kind of PR, try everything. धीरे धीरे होगा, कुछ भी एक बार में नहीं होता है. So have that patience to hold on to and लगे रहो. That will happen.
Okay, so that's all for today, guys. I hope you must have enjoyed this episode, and if you do, then do follow our podcast, Reading the Author, available on all the leading podcast platforms. And don't forget to buy and read the book. आप जस्ट Amazon पे जाओ, वहाँ पे सर्च करें सौरभजीत चौधरी, वहाँ पे सर की दोनों बुक्स आ जाएंगी. ज़रूर खरीदें, पढ़ें और अपने जानने वालों से, चाहने वालों से ज़रूर शेयर करें. Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us with your thoughts. It was truly our honor to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. And if you guys love this podcast, do go and follow me on Instagram also. That is @thepoeticlad. We can connect there and you can read more of my works and get updates from my Instagram.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.